Alrighty. Hi, you guys. Let me get Instagram up and running. Let me see if that's where I want you guys. I think I would prefer for you guys to be like right there. Yeah. Sorry if my hand is in the way. Hey, Zaire. Oh my gosh, I love your name. Hey, Jazani. That's pretty too. Zaire, girl, I want to name my child Zaire. I kind of don't want to say that, but I do. Candace, hi. Mary, hey. Madeline, hey, how you doing? Let me just get live on Instagram. Oh man, I wanted to turn my Wi-Fi off, but okay, it's fine. It works. Give me like 2 seconds, you guys, and we'll get started. I promise. Just gotta pin this comment. Okay, perfect. How are you guys? Hey, Devin. I'm so glad you can make it live. How are you guys' Saturdays going? Hey, everybody on Instagram. How are you doing? Let me get centered. Okay. Zaire is a pretty name. Yes, I love that name. I've been thinking about that name for the past like 5, 6, 7 years. Fatia says, hi, Kenya. Hey, you guys. Good. Your Saturday's going good. That's good. Okay. I'm gonna have to use my left hand to be on Instagram. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Basically, today I'm going to be talking about why your natural hair products aren't working. So if you ever have a product that you love and you use it a few times and then all of a sudden it randomly just stops working for you and you're not getting the same results, that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So let me know in the chat if that's ever happened to you guys, where a product that you held near and dear to your heart just stopped working for no reason at all. Put a yes in the chat if that's ever happened to you. And hi, everybody joining on Instagram. Mary says yes. Jazan says yes. Okay, perfect. He Makes Me Royal was raising her hand. Okay, perfect. Yes. So today, we're going to talk about how you fix that. So I have a blog post on this on my website right now. So if you guys want to see what I'm saying, like in words, you can go to PowerInYourCurl.com and can read it, but be getting a little bit extra than what I gave in that blog post. So the first reason why your natural hair products stop working is usually, like, the number one reason is usually because you have product buildup. So if you're low porosity or medium porosity and you can't remember the last time you clarified your hair, if it's been over a month since you last clarified your hair, a lot of the times that's why your products aren't working. And the reason why that is because when you're using moisturizers, like, we layer products. So like on my wash day, I use at least 2 products, sometimes 3 products. Excuse me, you guys, I'm still getting over my sickness from like forever ago. Okay. So yeah, like when we're layering products and using multiple products at once, we're using a lot of products that have oils and butters in them, like products that really, or excuse me, ingredients that really like stick to your hair. Also, if you're remoisturizing your hair like 2, 3, 4 times a week, you're gonna have like product buildup eventually. And if you're not cleansing that off to like completely remove that buildup, every wash day that you're not completely removing buildup, a little bit of product is being left over on your strands. And then over time, you get like product, like residual product is just laying on top of your strands to the point where any new moisture that you try to install on your wash day is not able to penetrate that barrier that's basically on your hair. And so if you find that your hair products ever stop working, what you can do is just basically clarify your hair. Now, if you have high porosity hair, you don't have to clarify. You can just use a moisturizing shampoo, and that should be good enough because high porosity hair doesn't hold on to product as much as low porosity and medium porosity do. But if you have low or medium porosity, I would make sure that you're clarifying at least once a month. And sometimes you can clarify twice a month, depending on like if it's really hot, if you're using a lot of big products, like it really depends. For me personally, I'll say that maybe from November to January, I was clarifying like twice a month. And then around February, it got colder in Jacksonville. So I started clarifying once a month. So if you find that your products aren't working, get rid of any product buildup and then try the product and you should have the same results. Cool. So the next tip that I have is a lot of the times, like when people say that products stop working, that really isn't like an accurate way to describe what's happening. And I want to break that down for you guys because when you have knowledge about what's happening in your hair regimen, you're able to address the situation or the problem differently. So a hair product doesn't change. Like unless the formula changes, unless the ingredients are changed, a hair product is almost always going to stay the same. But us as human beings, like our internal body is constantly in flux. Our hair habits are constantly changing, like changing. So if you notice that like maybe you moved to a new area or maybe the weight changed and a certain product didn't work for you, a lot of the times it's not the product, it's the fact that the circumstances or like the environment is different. So let me break that down. Say you have been using a protein-rich product because your hair is damaged, and that protein-rich deep conditioner or moisturizer has really helped you like renew and replenish your hair. When your hair is damaged, using protein can help seal your cuticle. It can strengthen your hair as you're growing out that damage. So as your hair is healing and being replenished, you are not going to need as much protein maybe a month or two later. So a month or two later, those same products that used to work so well for you may stop working because you have enough protein in your hair regimen. So sometimes products will stop working because you don't need what that product is offering. And it goes like it goes the same way in reverse. So sometimes say the weather, for instance, the weather gets colder where you are, or you move to a location that's colder or even less humid. That's another thing. Like if you live in the South, it's always humid. And then when you go to the North, it's like, whoa, like there's no moisture in the air. So sometimes things like that will happen and your hair will be drier than normal, even though you're using the same products that you usually would. And how you fix that is by identifying what am I lacking and either changing the product that you're using or adding in an additional product. So you may need to add like an additional layer on your product layering on wash day. You may need to use your deep conditioner with heat instead of using it without heat. What are some other ways you can boost moisture? Maybe incorporating like a really light oil to seal in your moisture can be helpful. So that may be what's going on. Again, it's not the product that's changed, it's your environment that's changed, and you need to address that. And then somebody mentioned that my product stopped working as my hair grew. And that is a super important piece. In Child of God Forever, that may have happened for two reasons. One, as your hair gets longer, it gets older. So like the hair right here at the ends, I don't know, this is probably hair from like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And as your hair gets older, it needs more nurturing and more tender love and care. And sometimes there are products, well, actually, no, there are a lot of products on the market that do not contribute to your hair health. If you guys are like followers of me, you know that I only recommend certain products from certain companies that contribute to making your hair better. So if you're using products that aren't going to give your ends or the length of your hair the moisture that it's looking for or the nutrients that it's looking for, your hair isn't going to respond to those products. So Child of God Forever, what I notice is as your hair gets longer, you usually have to reevaluate the products that you're using to make sure that it's giving you what you need. And you also most likely will need to go to higher quality products. So products that cost a little bit more are completely worth it. One, because you almost always only need to use a little bit of it to make it work because it's so concentrated. And two, because it's really going to help your hair be at its best. If you want your hair to grow down to your waist or to your bra strap or to your butt even, you have to take care of the hair that you already have so that it's like still intact once you get down to that length. So that's one thing that may have happened, Child of God Forever. Or two, something that I noticed is that once you start using high quality hair products, you get to experience like your hair on another level. And as I was going through my hair journey, I noticed this a lot. Like usually every year I would kind of like level up with the type of products that I was buying for my hair. So like back in 2014, I was buying like almost anything you could find at CVS. I was using the Neutrogena leave-in. I was using the macadamia nut deep treatment mask that was like $38 and it was full of like synthetic ingredients. I was using some Joico products, like you could find at TJ Maxx. And then I think I tried Camille Rose Naturals. And that was like the first time I ever tried like a natural organic product. And my hair reacted so much better to that as compared to like some of the other products. And then when I went back to use some of those cheaper products, I noticed that I didn't like my hair results. Not because the product changed, but because I knew better now. Like I had experienced my hair at another level, and I couldn't go back to like that lower level, basically. So yeah, I'm gonna take some questions now. That was basically all that I had to say. There can be some other reasons why your hair products aren't working. I'll say really quickly. Maybe there was a recent hormonal change that you had, like you got pregnant, or just maybe you recently like are getting over a sickness. That can contribute because like your hair is changing, your body is changing, so certain products won't work anymore. And you just have to kind of figure out what works for you. So I'm going to take some questions. Sarah says, what brands would you recommend that help aid and straighten your hair? So Sarah, whenever you're straightening your hair, you want to use as little product as possible, and most of your moisture when you're shampooing, conditioning, and deep conditioning. I'm sorry, you guys. So for a shampoo, I would recommend, if you have low porosity or medium porosity hair, I would recommend clarifying and using a moisture shampoo. One that's really good is the Paul Mitchell Shampoo 2. It will completely remove almost everything out of your hair. And then a moisturizing shampoo that you can use on top of that. The only moisturizing shampoo that I use is the Head and Shoulders 2-in-1 Dry Scalp Care, or you could try the Camille Rose Naturals Sweet Ginger Cleansing Cream. I hear that that one's very, very moisturizing. So you want to do a clarifying shampoo, then do a moisturizing shampoo. You want to cleanse your hair twice to really get rid of any buildup. And then you want to do a moisturizing deep conditioner or a strengthening deep conditioner. So a really good moisturizing one would be the Curl Origin Moisture Overnight Mask. Protein conditioner I recommend is the Brio Geo to do when I straighten my hair. You just want to use a lightweight leave-in and a heat protectant. So any heat protectant typically will work, like a spray lightweight heat protectant. A leave-in that you can use, I don't necessarily straighten my hair at home, so I almost always use like what the salon is using. But something off the top of my head that you could use is the Miracle leave-in. That one's pretty good. Like if you're straightening at home, it's very lightweight and really moisturizing. The 10-in-1 Miracle leave-in, not the Shea Moisture one, I don't know what it's called, the Miracle Leave-In brand, or any really lightweight leave-in that you have under your sink if you prefer to use it at home. And then using a silicone-based serum can help with humidity, a really lightweight one, and the Paul Mitchell Skinny Serum is good for that. And the Paul Mitchell Skinny Serum is also good if you want to like humidity proof your hair for the spring and the summer. If you live in a humid environment, the only way to really like humidity proof your styles is by using products with silicones. And that's going to basically block out any moisture in the air that would cause your hair cuticle to swell. But at the same time, you're going to need to make sure that you're cleansing that out with a sulfate shampoo every wash day so that you're able to get moisture back into your hair and that's not creating a barrier. So Madeline says, I've noticed so many changes as I'm in premenopause. Dry, dry, dry. Yes, definitely. Madeline, something that you could do is if you notice your hair is more dry than usual, especially because of an internal change, I would recommend deep conditioning more often. So I don't know how often you're deep conditioning now. You definitely want to be deep conditioning at a minimum once a week. But if you can deep condition twice a week, that would be helpful like as you're transitioning through this phase, because you're just going to be replenishing your hair's moisture levels. And yeah, I think that would be helpful. Also, having a product layering combo that gives you maximum moisture and then sticking with that would be helpful. So I don't know your hair identity, but if you have, actually just reply with your hair identity, Madeline, and I'll tell you what I would recommend. So Ashley Sarah says, what is a good sulfate-free shampoo to transition from a sulfate shampoo? I'm not sure what you mean by transition from a sulfate shampoo. Maybe you're saying like you want something similar to a sulfate shampoo, but it's not. I recommend the Camille Rose Natural Sweet Ginger Cleansing Cream. That will really cleanse your hair well. It will moisturize your hair as well. And I don't think that there are any sulfates in that. So Pretty much the only 3 shampoos I recommend for clarifying is the Paul Mitchell Shampoo 2. For moisture shampoo is the Camille Rose Natural Sweet Ginger Cleansing Cream. And then if you have scalp issues, and also for moisturizing shampoo is the Head and Shoulders Dry Scalp Care Shampoo and Conditioner. My husband just popped up in the Instagram live and just started giving me all the hearts. Thank you, baby. Alrighty, so Jazan says, would you say natural hair products are better for getting healthier hair? I would say that you want to use what works for you. So I know that there are people who like get good results with hair products that aren't natural. And so if it works for them, it works. But in my opinion, like I look at my hair as like connected to like my life. So within my life, I try to use everything like completely natural and from the earth because I feel like that's just healthier. And even when you get good results with synthetic products, that doesn't mean that it's healthy for you. Your hair may look good, but that doesn't mean that it's healthy for you. So yeah, in my opinion, I would say that natural hair products are better. Yeah. So Madeline says, I have very fine wavy curls, very much like yours. So I would recommend, here's a moisture combo that you can use. Like on a general level for low porosity hair, medium porosity hair, for fine strands, for medium strands, you want to use a lightweight leave-in. Then you can use a thicker leave-in, like maybe a cream leave-in, and then a moisture-rich cream. So that's like a very basic moisturizing. That's a very basic moisturizing combo. So you could use the Mielle White Peony leave-in, the Oyen Hairdo, and then the Oyen Shine Define. But sometimes I notice that like your hair may need a little bit more than that. So you could use, let's say, my hair really needed a lot more moisture this time around when I was doing my hair. And I used the Curl Origin Hydrating Leave-In, which is amazing for like fine hair, low porosity hair. It's very lightweight, but the ingredients are awesome and it's very moisture rich. Then I put the Curl Mix moisturizer on top of that. So the thing about Curl Mix is their products are very lightweight, but they sandwich well between other products. And so that gave me a little bit more moisture as opposed to just using another leave-in. And then on top of that, I put another cream, which was the Oyen Handmade Shine and Define. So you really just want to kind of find your balance between like leave-ins and creams. And sometimes you can even put something a little bit thicker on top of that, like the Camille Rose Naturals Aloe Whipped Butter Gel. So I would say make sure you're layering your products for maximum moisture and then deep condition twice a week. And the way that you can switch up your style is by like cleansing on your wash day and then like 3 or 4 days later, do a light co-wash and then deep condition again and then re-moisturize. And that should help drastically with your hair retaining moisture. Thank you. My baby's so sweet. Okay, so if you guys don't have any questions, I want to keep this live to a minimum. I don't want it to be like forever long. So before I go, I'm going to go ahead and plug my hair goal guide. So this is on sale right now for $25. And basically what it does is it helps walk you through how to build a staple regimen. So how I was recommending to Madeline, like the different types of products she could use and how her wash day would look throughout the week. That's what this guide does. And it helps you really get clear on like your emotions around your hair. I'll show you guys briefly since I have it here. So there's like a little journaling section that helps you get very like crystal clear on your feelings around your hair so you can start from a place that sets you up for success. I also walk you through how to identify your hair type, because with building a regimen, you have to know what you're working with, basically. Like you can't just throw a bunch of products on the wall and expect them to work if you don't even understand your hair type or your hair identity, as I like to call it, because your hair identity is really comprised of your porosity and your hair strength thickness. And those are the top 2 important aspects. Your curl pattern is not like the most important thing. Then your density is next, and then your curl pattern can be helpful in just determining like how do you handle your hair to prevent breakage, or like because specific hair types, let's see, specific hair types need certain techniques. So like kinky hair, you usually want to like twist your hair up whenever you're styling it and stuff like that. But yeah, so you'll learn your hair identity, and I even have a porosity quiz if your porosity is something that you really struggle with understanding. And then I walk you through how to build your regimen around your hair identity. So it's like basically like me in your pocket, like it's my voice in a book telling you what you need to use for your specific hair identity. And then once we go through that, I walk you through like a regimen, like how to build a regimen. And the thing about building a regimen, and being successful in that is you want to be very intentional. So you have to outline, what am I using to shampoo? Does that agree with my hair identity? When am I shampooing? Why am I shampooing? Like you really have to break it down. And this is what this guide is going to help you do. And then I also walk you through how to track your progress and set yourself up for success by focusing on one goal at a time so that you can watch your hair flourish and also be able to identify any obstacles that come up. And if your hair is kind of acting crazy because you're tracking your progress, you can go and pinpoint why that is. So Madeline says she needs that. I have it linked in the description box on YouTube, Madeline. Just click the link and you can go purchase it for $25 and you'll get instant access to it. This is, I printed this out, but it's a digital copy that you're going to get. So you can print it out as well, like I have, or you can use it on your computer. But if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Actually, I remember somebody asked me one question. So before I go, I'm going to answer this last question. Somebody asked me, do I have any recommendations for spring and summer products? And I really want to let you guys know that, let's see. Cool. Yeah. I really want to let you guys know that when it comes to switching up your hair products for the seasons, you really don't have to change your hair that much. Like if you have a solid staple regimen that works for your hair, it's not going to change that drastically. Yeah, it's not going to change that drastically. You just want to make a change in like the thickness of the products that you're using. So if you live somewhere where it's really cold, you're not going to need as thick of products, basically. So say, yeah, that's basically what it is. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it. So you can either like cut that product out of your hair regimen. Maybe you need to go buy some products that are more lightweight. But for instance, let me give an example because I think that'll be more helpful. Right now, I'm using products that are thicker, like the Camille Rose Naturals Aloe Whipped Butter Gel. And that's really it. That's like the thickest thing that I'm using. And I don't have to use that in the summertime. Sometimes I do because it gives a really good wash and go and it just makes my hair, like my curls look good, but I don't need that thick of a product. So that's the way that you transition from winter to summer hair, is just making sure that you're not using anything too thick, or maybe you can cut down on the oils that you're using. And that's it. And again, if you want to humidity proof your hair regimen, you can use a silicone serum, but make sure you're shampooing that out. But I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to a crystal shop today. So I'm going to go hurry up and get in the car and go there before they close. But Rachel says, hello, I'm just joining. I've been thinking about getting a diva cut. Do you think that it's worth it? Rachel, I think that's a really good question. So when I answer this, I'm going to be super duper honest. I feel like it's not worth it to get a diva cut. And the reason why I feel that is there's two sides to this. So keep listening. But the reason why I feel that way is because I honestly feel like the diva curl like empire is not really catered to like African American curly hair. I think that world was really made for like white women who have curly hair, and like white women's curly hair is different from our curly hair. Like although it can be similar, a lot of the times it's different, like how you handle the hair, how you detangle the hair, like even how you address approaching the hair. And in my experience, I found that a lot of Diva Curl trained stylists, like just who understand the Diva Curl way, don't understand our hair type. But there are some Diva Curl stylists who get like extra training, or even they have extra experience, because they to a Diva Curl certified stylist doesn't guarantee that she's gonna know your hair. And I've gone to Diva Curl stylists before, and I had a horrendous experience. My cut was lopsided. My hair was basically pulled out of my scalp. They didn't know what they were doing. But I know that not every Diva Curl stylist is like that. So whenever you're going to a new stylist, I have a video on this actually. I would go watch that video on my YouTube channel, but you just want to do your research and make sure that they understand what they're doing, and go in for a consultation as well. Like you want to feel 100% comfortable before you sit down in anybody's chair, or 95, because you can never be 100%. But you want to be comfortable before you sit down in anybody's chair with them touching your hair. And Chantel says, hey, what did I miss? I'm going to end the live and then save it, and you'll be able to watch it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pop off of here, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. Make sure you grab your hair goal guide for Instagram. It's linked in my bio. For YouTube, it's in my description box. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.